My name is Jason Filiatro. I'm the director of a film called Now I'm a Bear. It's a short film about a disillusioned man who makes the very normal and rational decision to abandon human society and go live in the wild as an animal. It came sort of out of just a notion of just like everything seems really impossible and stupid right now, and wouldn't it be nice to just sort of walk away from the world, and what would that do to society and a person? And that's the basic idea. And also I wanted to like put a guy in a bear costume and run him around in the woods. Just seemed like the weirdest, funniest thing I could do, you know. Anything that's just a little silly, a little strange, to me is always a good touchstone. And I think we live in pretty absurd times, so absurd comedy is kind of the way to go.
My name is Ramon Joshi, and I'm the writer and director of The Hunter and His Apprentice.
I'm Darian Holiday, and I was one of the actors and co-writers for this film.
This is a film kind of about traditions being somewhat of a burden, and an apprentice having a hard time adjusting to his master's ways of hunting. So yeah, it's kind of about burden of tradition.
So I'm relatively new into the film industry, and coming onto this project, I was working with Ramon, where he was kind of a mentor for me, and then also with production and everything on the background. Monique Berry was someone who taught me a lot.
I wrote the kind of the core of the story years ago, and as I started working with LHI Productions and Agamac Pictures with Monique Berry, Griffin Cork, Morgan Emter, and Darian here, we were just kind of going through our slate of short films we had, and this is one that we all combined thought, like, this is something we can pull off and do. We shot it in one day. It's a silent film, so we didn't really have to worry about sound, so there was we kind of had a lot of artistic freedom in terms of being able to just run around in the woods and capture this.
So we were shooting kind of in the beginning of winter, so it was very, very cold the first day.
Yeah, it was actually the first snowfall of the year, so it actually added, it was, sucked to film in, but it gave it this even more magical look. So Mother Nature was kind of being cranky that day, but she made it look super beautiful. So yeah, it helped out.
My name is Maeve Kai. I'm the director of Dome. It's a short film. I would say it's a love letter about the Saddle Dome that is sadly going to be demolished in 2027. It's also a love letter to my parents and their immigrant story, and sort of how those two interconnect. We filmed this in February, probably one of the coldest months in Calgary, and probably the coldest week of the year in that case. We were also shooting on Super 8 film, so a lot of the times the camera would just freeze. The camera wouldn't work. The film was just frozen. So there's something to think about when you're shooting on film, but it was fun either way. The film was actually a part of the CIFF and Artifact $100 Film Festival Challenge. So basically they give you 2 rolls of Super 8, and you can make basically whatever you want with it. Initially I just wanted to shoot the Saddle Dome architecture and do something with that before the building went away. But then I started to figure out that a lot of the reason why I love the Saddle Dome and I love the Flames and hockey was because of my parents. So I just started to realize the intersection of the two, and kind of the film snowballed from there. Yeah, no, they've seen it. They really love it. I think it's the first time that I put them in one of my films. And I think they were a little bit nervous, but the more that people have seen it and other people outside of my family have seen it, they're always really shocked at how much people are receptive to it and how much they can relate to the story, even if they come from an immigrant family or not. It's been really nice to share it with the public. Because it was part of the $100 Film Challenge, we only had maybe 2 weeks. I think we shot the actual film in a day, and then I did the interview with my dad in an evening, so it really came together quick. I think the edit was probably the longest. So really less than a month we put it together. Yeah.
My name is Haracha Tokmajian. I'm a Armenian-Canadian writer and director, and my film Mother is about a neglected mother living with her family in the woods. She discovers that her husband has been unfaithful to her and prays to this nefarious, mysterious goddess in the woods named Astrid. And from that point on, her children start to disappear one by one. I love folklore, folk tales, folk horror, and mythology, so I've done a lot of research, and I'm very passionate about this story. So this story came to me as sort of like an amalgamation of all my research, of my schooling, and my past 2 short films that have kind of helped me develop to this point. I find it fascinating how folklore is almost like a language. It continuously redevelops itself. It kind of shows us the darker sides of humanity, the ugliest sides, but it also shows us the most beautiful and the most vulnerable sides. And because these tales are borrowed and picked and taken from one culture and another, like my film deals a lot with Armenian folklore, but there's also a lot of ancient Greek, Norse, and Slavic mythology kind of mixed into the fabric of this short film. So we shot entirely on location November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of last year. It was extremely cold, but because we had such a strong core of creatives, amazing cast, amazing crew, and just people I've worked with in the past, we powered through, and I think we created something that I don't think I've ever really seen in Alberta before.
So How to Write the Perfect Screenplay is about 2 filmmakers. They're kind of having a bit of an argument about what the next big thing they should write. One kind of wants to have something grounded in reality, and the other wants something a bit more escapist, not grounded in reality, and they have a bit of a killer tension. I wanted this to be kind of my first debut project, and when I was sitting down thinking about what should I write it about, I found myself kind of having a conversation should I make it kind of grounded in reality, or should I be more escapist? And as I was writing, I kind of personified those 2 sides of myself and imagined them kind of arguing, and it's more of an insight in I guess an artist's process, and I would hope that even if you aren't an artist, you kind of are able to kind of relate to that maybe struggle that you have within yourself of should I do this thing, should I do that? And I made it very easy on myself and had it in one location because I wanted it to be, if this is my first thing, I just wanted it to be as simple as possible. So yeah, my lovely producer Jillian and Guillaume, they helped me out a lot by finding a really good apartment. It takes place in just a whole apartment. So yeah, I just had it in that location, and it made things very easy. It's very surprising to know how a location can ease the process so much. And it just feels so nice to be able to have it premiere at my hometown, you know what I mean? And I feel I've always looked up to CIFF as the festival, it's my festival, and yeah, it just feels such a huge honor.